And back here at home, AAA Michigan predicts more than 1.7 million Michigan residents will travel 50 miles or more for the 4th of July holiday period that began on June 30th. This travel number is an increase of 76,000 more holiday travelers than last year's record high. Now, many folks will be traveling to their favorite campgrounds and other destination places in Michigan. We welcome Chuck Allen, Strategic Operations Chief of the Parks and Recreation Division of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, or DNR, to First at 4 Focus today. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
If someone is thinking about taking a quick overnight camping trip this weekend, is it too late to book a campsite for the 4th of July holiday weekend?
Well, we've got a lot of sites full for the weekend, and a lot of our most popular parks are full for the weekend. But that doesn't mean that you can't get out there and grab a night or two if you're looking to get out there and enjoy a campground. We still have, we're at about 97% full occupancy, but we do still have some campsites and some parks available.
Is that like finding a needle in a haystack when you say 97% full, but you have a few scattered here or there?
It is, and it's really all about where you want to go. So, you know, if you're looking for somewhere close to home in the Flint area, there's some places in Lakeport State Park that are still going to be open. The Pontiac Lake Recreation Area. So, you know, if you're trying to stay close to home, there's some places. And if you're looking to go maybe to the UP, up in Manistee, Indian Lake State Park, which is near Kitchitikipi or Big Springs, is a great spot, and they have some campsites for the week.
Now, earlier this year, you brought up the UP. There was a pretty severe ice storm in the UP, and a lot of the state parks and boating access sites were shut down as a result. So what's their status today?
Yeah, you're right. We had a really horrible storm that came through. It closed 13 of our parks for a time, and about 40 of our state forest campgrounds and a lot of our boating access sites. But good news, as of today, all of our state parks are open up in northern Michigan and the UP, and also all of our boating access sites and our state forest campgrounds. So those are all open and available for use. There's still some trails closed, but other than that, all the parks are open.
And let's talk about those closed trails very quickly. If someone stumbles upon a closed trail, what should they do? How should they approach that?
Sure. Yeah. If you come upon a trail where there's a sign, and we did sign the trails to make sure everybody knew it. If there is a sign, what we ask is that you don't use that trail, and you just exercise caution. Try to find another trail in the area that you can use. But those trails that we haven't been able to clear, they still have lots of hazardous hanging branches that can fall at any time. So we're really just asking people to respect those closure areas and not use those trails.
Yeah, just pay attention and respect the signs. Would you say, are some general safety rules to prevent fires and maybe unwanted encounters with animals when you're camping?
Oh yeah, that's a great question, because right now, you know, a lot of areas around the state are very dry. So, you know, with those dry conditions, having open fires is very hazardous. So if you're in a campground and you're at a campsite, we definitely ask you that you keep your fires in designated fire pits. And if you're burning at your own cottage or anywhere like that, if you can have some type of fire pit to keep that fire contained, don't let them get too big or out of hand or anything like that. Even if it's not windy, you know, winds can kick up at any time. And especially, you know, up north where the ice storm was, there's a lot of downed trees that are dry and are real fire hazards up there. So the most important thing is to keep them contained and keep water close by too. If you have something, you know, pop out, you can hit it with water. And as far as animals, the biggest and most important thing is to lock everything up. Lock your food up, put it in coolers, you know, that are secure. Bring it into your camper if you can do that. And if you're out on a rustic campsite, you know, tie it up in a tree. so that it's not easy for the critters like raccoons and possums and things like that to get into. But also, if you're up in the UP, that helps keep the bears from getting in as well.
And lastly, again this year, the Michigan DNR is participating in the National Operation Dry Water campaign, another important initiative when it comes to holiday camping and lakes and having a great time. Tell us about this campaign and what it aims to do to keep people safe.
Yeah, so it's a national campaign, Operation Dry Water, and what it really is out there, just like on the roads, there are thousands of people that are out on our lakes this time of year because the weather's great, it's hot, and they want to get in and cool off, which is fantastic, and we encourage it. But one thing that with Operation Dry Water is our law enforcement, our conservation officers, and local county sheriffs departments. They're going to be on high alert looking for boaters that are boating under the influence of alcohol. And they're going to be writing more citations for these kind of things and stuff like that. And what it really is aiming to do is just educate people about the hazards of boating under the influence of alcohol, similar to like it is with a car when you're driving under the influence. It's very similar on a lake.
Chuck Allen, Strategic Operations of Chief Parks and Recreation Division of the Michigan DNR. Thanks so much for sharing this information with us on the eve of 4th of July here. I'm sure lots of people will be headed to state parks if they're not already there. Thanks so much for being our guest and have a great holiday.
Thank you very much. And you have a great holiday too.